Peace, peace, peace. This is QI unapologetically up in the building. Give me just a few minutes. In fact, I'm not going to play an intro. And I just found the music. I haven't done this in so long. I just found the music. So here is what I'm going to do. What I am going to do is play some music right quick. Never mind. It's not quite working out. But anyways, as you see my title, I like been observing different things around the beef sector for a minute. Um, I started a channel in the beef sector, and then I had to take a quite a leave due to family things. Okay, so I left. Um, And when I came back, I didn't even come straight back into the B sector. I went back to my older ways of like venturing around. If anybody knows me, they know I've always ventured around to different areas or whatever. And I don't know if that's the ADHD or I'm curious about different things. I have different interests or whatever. But I've always ventured around. So I ventured around, and I was in the Black Debate area, B1, uh divestment, Black women empowerment sector for a long time, which is sort of like the offspring of the old sector that I was in. Like it's like part of the conscious community. And so from time to time I would peek in. And so, like, I peeked in, and this was during the time of the Tracy and the Rob Rack situation. Now, Rob Rack is from the conscious community, and we all know his patterns of behavior. Same thing that happened to Tracy, same thing with Daria has always happened. This is just what Rob Rack is known to do and has always done. So, me seeing Tracy being interested in Rob Rack, you know, I felt that I had to say something. And it wasn't just me, it was a lot of people who came from that community, a lot of people from the Black sector. They were speaking out, they were telling Tracy like his past behaviors and different things of that nature, right? Okay, so um that's when I started to like peek in a lot more. Like I wasn't over in the B sector full time. But I would, keep my eye on the B sector a lot. And then the situation happened with Tracy, like where she went to California or whatever. And I was like, mm. And then I saw all these other people following with the same pet, these other men, these other people who are known, in other sectors for this same, dysfunctional or toxic pattern of behavior, especially when it's towards women, right? So, I became concerned. And my biggest concern, let me say, in most of these sectors, if you are of the LGBTQIA community, it's almost like they're not going to give you a chance. The only reason, like, I was able to migrate, especially the first go around, nobody had a clue. It wasn't until I went back after, like the beef sector or whatever, when it was already out in the open because I didn't broadcast that online. Although I defended the LGBTQIA community a lot of times, it was like almost like the don't ask, don't tell. Nobody asked and I didn't tell. But if they had asked, I would have told. And it was nothing that I was ashamed of. It was just that, it's just that I like for people to, I'm more than just a lesbian. I'm more than just a stud. I've always been more than just a lesbian. I'm more than just a stud. And I wanted people to, I like when people hear, like hear me, hear what I'm saying. or take what I'm saying seriously without it always having to be go right back to, oh, my sexual orientation. And it's like, since I've been in the beef sector, pretty much that's what happens a whole lot. Everything, it's like, no, people can't focus on anything else other than my sexual orientation. And that is really frustrating to me because that's a personal thing. That's a personal thing. And I'm able to get along with all different types of people. And even in the real world, I don't have a problem, even though I'm very identifiable. I don't have a problem in real world or real life with that because of the simple fact that, in the real world, people look at my behavior, they look at my characteristics, they look at my conduct, and they're often impressed by that. And so that's what I'm used to. I'm not used to, and I've been in some, dealing with politics, dealing with a public speaker. I've done a lot of things, and that's one thing that like I never had a problem with. Um, I've never had a problem with. Most of the time, people are captivated by my conversation or by my intelligence or by my, the things that I'm saying. And they're not focused on, my sexual orientation. And so when I come on here, it's like I come on here to either stimulate my mind in one or two ways, speak up, talk, help people, try to make the world a better place, or to laugh or and have fun. That's why I come on YouTube or even any social media site for that matter. Okay. So, back in the day, I mean, we had some crazy stuff that go on in the B sector, but we had a lot of places that you could go that did different content and you can laugh. And so, like I said, me, it's like sometimes you feel like this, sometimes you feel like that. Sometimes I don't feel like being serious, or my mind may not be in a place of being able to sit down and listen to some intellectual topics, politics, or whatever. I'm not just in that place. So I might feel like going over here laughing, or I might feel like, you know, uh, catching a current topic, like maybe with different things that has went on, when people are breaking down cases or breaking down something that has happened. I might feel like that. So this is one of the reasons why I don't, the merger stuff, I know that it's detrimental to the entire internet. And in my opinion, the whole internet is getting boring because, like, there was a time where I had so many different places to go. And now it's like either it's algorithm and I'm in a shadow band algorithm, or there are not that many content creators on here anymore. Content creators are not, because it seems like a lot of people are doing the same thing. And I have ADHD, so I get bored with that. I get bored with the same thing over and over again, or seeing the same people on panels over and over again, or them talking about something over and over again, and the exact same way. Like, I'm just like, if you're going to recap something that has already been recapped, at least bring us something different with it. At least deliver something different that nobody else has. Because other than that, it's like you're hearing the same thing over and over. And it's either going to be from one side or the other side, not perspectives. It's going to be from one side or the other side, which is boring. I mean, like, which is boring, and a lot of times it's not even of my belief. I'm just like, oh, okay, here they go again. Oh, here they go defending. Oh, here they go with the damage control, that sort of thing. All right. So there is a root issue. It's like getting worse in the B sector, and there's a root issue. There was a time where basically, like, a lot of people would come in, like the Manosphere has been in here, and the B sector played with them and ran them out. Black sector came in here. They kept some and ran some out. Now, not all people of the black sector are bad. Some of them, were assets or whatever. So it's not like I'm looking at things like, oh, black sector, oh, this or oh, that. Like nobody else knew or nobody else is welcome or whatever. But it's just like this when you start mixing certain things, just like what you're gonna get when you go over there to the Mo three sector. And one of the things I can say, shout out to the Mo three sector, because that's one sector they'll come over, visit, come over, participate, but then at the same time they pack up their stuff and go back home. And then I notice how territorial they are about their area. Now that's not in terms of you doing commentary or whatever, because I've done a little Mo three commentary on some things that a little Mo3 commentary or whatever. Um, it's more or less about people coming over and I don't know, clout chasing, or I don't know what it is, but I just like the way that in terms of their sector and how they do stuff over in their sector, which means that the people in their sector have an opportunity to grow. Now they do have some things going on or whatever. I try not to get too deep into their politics over there, but they do have some things going on that are hindering their sector. But at the same time, at least they focus on their sector. Likewise with the black sector, like most of the black sector is hmm, has components. Just like you had the Nature Boy, you had the Tommy Sotomayor, and which it took me a long time to realize that they consider him black sector because Tommy Sotomayor says he was arguing with Kwame Brown saying that he was the creator of the manosphere. All right, but anyways, he was considered a part of the black sector, and then you have the Umar Johnson sector. And even though a lot of people in the black sector would say Umar Johnson sector is not black sector, it very much is, because basically what I've looked at is a lot of because they Monty Woodgrain. I remember one Monty Woodgrain from back in the day. I remember like we all used to, point out the hypocrisies of people like Umar Johnson, Brother Polite, and different things. And Monty Woodgrain was right there with us, anti-Afro Spengalis. She was right there. I've been subscribed to her for over 10 years. Like like when she was really active and she was really producing information about Umar Johnson. I was a subscriber then. A lot of the people that I know are subscribed and support anti-Afro Spengalis. Um, and then and you have the B1 community, the Aboriginal community, in which I'm like one of the founders of there. But you have like so many different. So I don't know. I guess that would be called, even though they have their own little name or whatever. These are all offsprings of the conscious community. Just like the majority of Nature Boy came from sort of the conscious community, Umar Johnson came from the conscious community. Tommy Sotomayor didn't come from the conscious community. Didn't come from the conscious community. That's why I was like sort of surprised that they would categorize Tommy Sotomayor as being a part of the black sector. But anyways, it is what it is. But I said all this to say is that to me, sectors have its significance and its importance. Just like that, even though it ain't perfect in the B sector in terms of the LGBTQI community, at least the B sector is a place created, not with Black women and the LGBTQIA community, where I want to say a semi-safe space, or a space where where you got a shot or a shine. So because of that, that's why when I heard people saying merger, and then I'm looking at a lot of people who are homophobic, and a lot of people who are homophobic, and there's a lot of discrimination, and harassment and all of that stuff happening amongst the LGBTQIA community, especially when it comes down to the lesbians, and especially when it comes down to the studs. And like being um, a victim of that. All right. So and people often hear me type or say, like, if you don't like the LGBTQIA community, why are you trying to be here? Because why are you trying to be in the B sector if you don't like the LGBTQIA community? And so they're saying about growth, right? Well, some of these other sectors, they have been shadow banned, especially and primarily the manosphere, because a lot of things happen with the manosphere. Um, During the time when I was with the B1, the divestment and all of that, the debate community, I mean, they were surfacing around, and I am so familiar with their behavior. I'm so familiar with their tactics and the things that they do. And this is why when I'm seeing these types of people come in, knowing that they like doing degrading content on women, degrading women, and they don't care or like the LGBTQIA community. I'm like, why do you want to come into the B sector, where that's what the B sector is predominantly comprised of? Now, there are others, not everybody, every man is not gay. So I guess I want to say it's diverse to an extent. So I'm just like, why do y'all want to mess that up? And see, that works when it comes down to YouTube, or that works when it came down to the algorithm, especially when we were all doing different forms of content, because that is what was helping the sector grow. And so now, like, it's like everybody's doing the same thing. And it's basically like, if you're a new person, if you're an outsider, whatever, you come in, if you just don't care for toxic stuff, and you come in and you turn on something and you hear a bunch of arguing or whatever, you're going to turn away. And then a lot of times when you're recapping stuff or talking about characters, a lot of new people are not necessarily going to subscribe or whatever, because they have no idea who people are talking about most of the time. It's not like you hear people. I came in because of James and his celebrity gossip and all of that. I came in from because of Sean Bradley and his politics or whatever. I came in because let's just say Jay Wilson, and like how he used to do his Sunday services or whatever. Like different people find different people for different reasons, and then they found out about the rest of the B sector. But the way that things are now, it's like nobody's doing like everybody's doing the same type of stuff. They're doing the same. It's wash, rinse, repeat every day. Wash, rinse, repeat every day. Wash, rinse, repeat every day. And a lot of it is psychological uh programming, because it's a lot of running around in circles for nothing. It's like we want to find out something, and people are just running us around in circles, getting numbers and stuff for nothing, and it's a nothing burger. It ends up being a nothing burger. And these are not like back in the day in the beef sector. A lot of times those beefs led to better conversations, like conversations about whether trans should be in the use the women's restroom, or like even the conversation that a lot of people don't like. Oh, the why do the gay men call us this, that, and the other? Like, it led to conversations, and those conversations could have led to a resolve. And see, since I'm on that point, that's the other thing that I don't like about a lot of the older beefs and stuff like that. Now, I do like that some people have waved their white flags or whatever. But one of the things that I like that is still occurring and that hurts us so much in the B sector is resentment, past resentment. Like, some people have been able to get over that, but like some people not. It's like a whole lot of past resentment. And I faced a lot of that. And it's like a lot of people, like, I haven't done anything to a lot of these people, but they resent me based on this or that or something from the past. And it's like, okay, um, and it's like, okay, well, if I did something so wrong to you, then like at least come to me and let's talk about it. So let's see if we can resolve that issue, because either I'm unaware or whatever. But this is what I'm just trying to say. It hurts because still today it's like people don't want other people to grow, don't want other people to get numbers. And it's like the other sectors are noticing. And this is what makes the beef sector weaken to a certain point, because you have like the beef sector fighting the beef sector and embracing outsiders. It's like the beef sector would help an outsider so quickly, but then want to hinder somebody from within the sector, uh, um, which is stopping the circulation or stopping the growth of the sector. And when these other sectors come in, it's not the beef sector anymore, because these people are still identifying from the sector that they came from, whether it be the Umar Johnson sector or whether it be, they'll tell you quick, I'm not trying to be beef sector. All they want to do is use the beef sector storylines or use the beef sector content as their own. And so even most of the recap channels are not people who like were there in the past that understand the deeper history, because like for people who were there in the past, it's hard for us to recap or talk about things without somebody getting offended by it sometimes, or without it becoming a little issue. It's hard to and to talk about that kind of stuff. So like these other people, they come in and they don't know the full story, and they're only like whatever side they came in on, whatever team they're on, that's generally where that conversation is going to go, instead of it being a unbiased, more truthful and and honest breakdown or conversation. And there is one person that's the catalyst to these different people coming in. In fact, this one person has said that they go recruit men. They tell the men where to go, which is Brianna, Pizza, the trifecta, and they give them the blueprint. They tell them what to do, and most of the time these men have done it. And then after these men feel that they've gotten what they need to get or gotten where they need to go, they dump them and and go on. And a lot of these men, are doing better, are starting to do better, or doing better than a lot of them. And they don't even realize that these people that y'all are accepting this money from, because our money ain't good money. These people that you're doing it for, like doing this for are taking not only from the rest of the beef sector, but also taking from you yourself. Eventually, those people are going to be down to nothing as well. While all these other people, now the only way to stop it is to stop doing content. Like if there was, and so like for a minute the content dried up, and then they would run plays. The thing is running plays, and the thing is jumping on panels. Running plays, jumping on panels, and involving themselves in B sector content. And so therefore the recaps and all of this stuff goes to everybody else, instead of the sector itself trying to restructure itself. Now, because of, like I said, it's a LGBTQIA friendly place, for a long time I fought and fought, to the point where some people were saying that I was trying to be a gatekeeper. No, I wasn't trying to be a gatekeeper. I already knew what was going to happen. And so I tried to prevent it. And it's been so hard for me to tell myself, because, like, I sort of, when I first started my channel, I was in so many different directions in terms of categories of content, that I realized I was messing myself up and messing my channel up. So basically, you know, I've been taking my time and saying, like, what do I really want to do? Like, what area do I really want to focus on? And that's why, like, I try not to do too much B sector. Like, I might respond, but in terms of like just doing B sector content, I don't do it. And a lot of times I might even delete the live because I'm trying to reset the algorithm, especially once I start going live. Like I have to, this is a part of, I got to start at least going live for 30 minutes, for 30 minutes, twice a week. So although this might not be a full 30 minutes or whatever, but, this is a part of that. So, um, and I may keep it up. I don't know. I don't know where that stands or whatever. But pretty much I just wanted to say those things. And so like I don't really push my channel. I don't really do a lot of things and stuff like that within the sector because and then I'm not trying to, say I'm better than anything or whatever, but what I'm passionate about doing does not fit this sector. And I feel like if once I get outside of this sector and get into and find my core people, like you see, these people have found a core. I don't really have a core. Really, I've never gotten a chance to have a core. I do have some people, um, some people that support me as well as them who enjoy when I do content. But in terms of like finding my core, to the point where like I could grow, I've never like I haven't really done that. So my whole thing is to I've figured out like my direction, and that's what I'm working towards now, getting into the right algorithm where I can grow my own core audience. And that's why I'm not so interested really in like just like being shared. To me, I don't think that that's not going to help me because I'm going to get the people who are interested in the drama. And that's not like what I want to do. I'm not trying to do drama. So that's not going to help me. It might help me in terms of subscriptions, but it's not going to help me in terms of my views and my growth and overall. But for any reason, so basically what I'm saying is I'm an activist and a super empath, a very spiritual person. And a lot of times it's hard for me, like, my care of other people is not based on how they care, like them caring about me. I'm a humanitarian. So, like, I just care about, people or care. So I care about the community. I care about the other lesbians. I care about the women in this sector that don't have a voice or haven't spoke out and who don't like, being disrespected and who want to be able to, continue on in the beef sector and do the same thing that, they love the beef sector. They love being online, who want to be able to, continue to fulfill that without having to go through all of these, all of this toxicity and dysfunction, because that's what I tried to do for a little while, or that's what I try to do. I try to support, like, a lot of people. I still, I support a lot of the B sector people, and it's not that they necessarily support me back. I just support them because I feel like everybody deserves it, and I feel like that's what we should do. And so, like I said, um even if they don't, it does. Like, I know that I'm not gonna do drama content. I'm not gonna do this. So if they support me, they're gonna support me based off of the type of content that I bring. Like, that's a true core supporter. That's a person who likes your content. A person, and that's like what I'm a real organic audience that's catered or designed for my type of content. But at any rate, I see a lot of, people came in, people often try to clean up stuff. And it's like the old beef sector used to rally together. and run people out, or rally together and do this, or rally together to do, rally together to do whatever. Even though there were multiple sides, four camps, whatever. But like it's certain things, everybody would pretty much come together, and or whatever. Or, they would be in, I don't even know. They knew the assignment. Let's put it that way. What up? What up? What up? Let me take a few minutes just to speak to everybody. What's up, my boy NPC, the game in the building? Y'all, this is somebody I met from the Panelverse. And I love, just like Mel Pandora, just like the Machine Lies, or what is it? What is it? If you still hear NPC is Machine Lies. MLC, what do we call them? But they're like over there in the Panelverse or in Resto sector, they do a lot of debates and they do a lot of intellectual topics, and that's why I fell in love with their sect with some of the content creators. I'm gonna be very clear, with some of the content creators in their sector, because that's my thing. I love debates. I love intellectual topics. I love, talking about, a variety of different things. I love stimulating my brain. So, yeah, NPC the game is in the building. If y'all get a chance, y'all go subscribe to that brother. That's a brother. He lives, I don't want to mess it up. Thailand, I think. I think he lives in Thailand, but I know he doesn't live abroad. But he is a an American brother, and he does really good content. Shout out to Black Pearl in the building. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, and shout out to Paula Burns in the building. Paula, you said, "Am I about to spill some tea?" See, that's what I'm saying. Um, I'm not behind the scenes or anything like that. Uh, I mean, I can, and I can. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's look at something from a psychological standpoint. Lemon is a danger, not just to women in the LGBTQIA community, which he doesn't care for. He'll pretend he's a danger to himself as well. And this is a power or ego trip, because Lemon is a self-admitted narcissist, right? And I've heard Lemon say things like, uh, I'm gonna do anything to stay on top. And when somebody says that, let's just look at that. Let's unpack that for a minute. When somebody says they will do anything, and then when you see people begin to do anything, just like when there's no content, he makes up something, runs some plays, he's throwing his subscribers under the bus, his supporters, strong supporters under the bus. And then he never feels like he owes anybody an apology. He never feels like he should be held accountable. It's all about him. And he doesn't, and just like some people on he like if people didn't make him, he wouldn't apologize. He would just find a way to blame it on somebody else, or blame it on somebody, or he'll really rather just take them scissors and cut the ties, because he's not going to face accountability for him doing wrong. You know why? Because he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. And when he apologizes, that's, just for you to leave him alone, or just for him to end it. But he's going to turn around and do the same thing that he did before again. This is so much, this app, that channel is so much to him, but it's not. It's so much to him, but don't worry. It needs to be snatched, because, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. What I'm trying to say is he needs some help. He needs to start focusing and bettering his behavior. He needs to do a lot of different things, because he's not young. He's almost 40. But he still has time to do some things, for himself, instead of sitting around and coming online and acting up. He's not even coming online educating. He's not even coming online trying to create non-toxic or non-dysfunctional entertainment. He's online and it's chaos. And then he's hurting a lot of people because I've told people before, he pulls at people's heartstrings. Um and he presents himself like one way at first, but then that mask comes off, and then he's a boogie monster. But we all know that most people who are narcissists, especially ones that are self-admitted narcissists like himself, so I'm not diagnosing him, are very insecure inside. So what I'm trying to say is that this is like a false ego. This is like narcissistic supply. This is hurting him in so many ways. And it's not just going to hurt him, it's going to hurt others as well. And it's already hurt the sector. Because if y'all don't realize it, Lemon has basically reconstructed the sector the way that he wants. Like, he wants primarily men to be in the sector making money as long as he's the king. He's bringing in all these men, but he has to be the king. He has to be the top. Notice, like, a lot of times when they fall out, it's not for long. He's falling out just because they challenged his authority, or they challenged, his authority. Because and it's a power move. So, but they all have a working agreement where, pretty much like they like want the sector to be taken over, like, by men. And most of the content is going to be on degrading women. That's why I'm just telling you, I already know I'm about to make an exit. I already know I'm going to have to find somewhere else on YouTube to but not necessarily find somewhere else on YouTube. I could just start focusing more on my channel, right? On my content. But I already know that a lot of people are going to leave the B sector. Like, a lot of, because everybody's not going to want to sit there and continue to do that. And if no women are around, if no women are allowing themselves to be placed in that vulnerable position, then, like, they won't have any content, because they're not going to do the content on themselves unless it's some old beef or something that has happened before, or unless they run a fake play. But they're NPC. If NPC is still in here, he knows about the Bros Before Hoes committee. These are bros before hoes. Bros before hoes. And let me tell y'all something. I am not, like, I've debated with people from the Manosphere. I've debated with people from the Peel community, and like, even misogynists, right? Although that's not my ideology, as long as you respect me, I can respect you. And it doesn't mean I have to hate you because of the way that you believe what you believe. I don't have to dislike or hate somebody just because we don't believe the same thing. But you find a lot of these people, they want you to all believe the same thing. No, um I like diversity. And I feel like you learn something, especially if you're willing to have mature conversations and it doesn't lead to, detrimental things. But a lot of the people that are around, it leads to detrimental things. It leads to harassment. It leads to, just because you don't believe the same, just because I'm a lesbian, they don't like lesbians. Just because I'm a stud and they don't like studs. They feel like they feel like they're entitled to disrespect or come at me in certain ways. And see, like, that's why I understand what Jay Dunn is over there going through. I mean, over there going through. I understand Jay Dunn because it's likewise with us. I mean, they're not really. It's something like they don't, because of their outlook on women. They don't feel like women has any value. And even though we're studs or lesbians, we're women as well. So they, of course, but if they're gonna take their homophobia out on anyone, it's gonna be the lesbian women, especially the studs. I was even challenged to take on the mindset of bros before hoes. It was like, well, since you're this, shouldn't you be? No, I'm a woman. I'm a woman first. I still have to like fight for women's rights. Like when I like on my birth certificate, it says girl. On like my applications or whatever, it says woman. And so like when it comes down to it, like in terms of politics or in terms of rights and um whatever is centered around woman or womanhood, that's centered around me as well. That's me. That's my rights. I can't be delusional, think that just because I'm a stud, I'm gonna get the same rights as a man. They're gonna look at me like a man. No, they're not. And I'm not a man. I like being a woman. I'm a woman. I'm a proud woman. So I mean, it's just so many, like, that's like the type of conversations or whatever. Like when I started the L panel that I really want to have, like break stuff down because a lot of people don't understand. And then a lot of people, they stereotype or whatever. And instead of people like asking you questions or being willing to have a conversation with you about certain things without trying to be judgmental or trying to be right, they'll rather like deem you, chastise you, cast you out as wrong, throw stones at you or whatever. So that's basically what is happening. That's basically what is happening, and it's not right, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very like uncomfortable. But here's the thing, just like anybody else has a right to be on YouTube or anybody else has a right to whatever, I do too. So does all the rest of the LGBTQIA community. And I mean all of them. Now, there sometimes I don't agree when a lot of the trans women are inappropriate with the males, right? Because here's the thing, you have to think they're already uncomfortable. Like some of them are already uncomfortable, or whatever. And so, like, if you want them to start thinking that maybe people, the community is not so bad, that kind of stuff shouldn't take place. Because that's going to make, they're not just going to say trans, they're going to say the whole entire community. So a lot of times we don't realize it, that a lot of our behaviors and things that we do, it represents us all. It represents us all. And it contributes to the stereotypes. So like I would just like for my community to be more aware of that, and it's long standing. And just like we can say that this is not real life, but these are people from the real world on this app. So it is real life. So if they, like if they gather this opinion of us as a community, and they have an opportunity to impact our rights or not impact our rights, or like the way that you might get treated in real life is determined, can be determined by the occurrences that happen on this here app. So I just wanted to point that out to people because that's a very, very, very important thing to think about. I mean, they're trying to strip our rights now, and just say like we have to go back and fight for some of the same things we fought for, or fight for different things. Then you whereas there was one time when a lot of people, because they had family, so because it's so many of us, because they had family, everybody pretty much may have had a family member or somebody that they knew that was a part of the community. We had a lot of allies and support. But because of like the recent political stuff, I've noticed how a lot of people's attitudes are changing, and it's not just changing based upon the fact that a lot of people are preaching against things. It's changing because also a lot of like our behaviors and the things that we're doing publicly due to social media and a lot of different things, the things that they see us do or how we behave or act on social media. It definitely has an impact, and it definitely can have an impact. And we do need allies, just like even like A lot of people, they don't like to deal with people outside of, their own race or the black race. But you got to realize you need allies. We do need, people need allies. You do need allies. Countries need allies. Companies need allies. They have partnerships with other companies. You need allies. No, what is that saying? No one man is an island. So, that's just some food for thought for people. And like I said, like fought for our rights, fought for all kinds of things. I'm an activist. And so it's sort of unbearable and it's sort of hard to be on this app where it feels like a lot of people don't care, and it's so different from how you like the real world or in real life. It's so different. Like in the real world or real life, like people of the community, when we see each other, we salute each other. I don't mean we got to be friends or nothing, but we salute each other, give each other respect because of like the struggles that we've gone through, or maybe not. But on this app, it seems like you have more inter people like LGBT fighting the LGBTQ, and it's it's weird to me. That is real weird, and it's something. Oh, it's very weird. It is very weird because it's like a lot of people are trying to be the top. They're trying to be number one, or they're trying to. I don't know what it is. I really don't know exactly what a lot of the stuff is, but it has been so weird to me. Like it's been so many. I have and am a part of a lot of lesbian organizations in real life, and it's been so weird that I get it, like most of the time I get attacked by other lesbians. It's weird. And I don't really know how to react. And then we even tried to bring resolve or bring peace, which does not like really work. Cause and the reason being is because it's like this is not in real life. I'm gonna bring if we have an issue, I'm gonna bring resolve or peace because I feel like there's no reason why we should be fighting each other. We should when we have to fight for each other and fight with each other, if you know what I mean. But I'm just saying there are so many different things or issues and stuff to talk about, real life issues. And the reason I don't do it is because I'm not necessarily in a sector right now that and then the times that I have, a lot of times people will just try to come back or just try to throw salt or just try to place a diminishing um, outlook on either your slander your content, or slander something because they think that's competition. That is not competition to me. That is pure slander, and that stops growth too. You should be, if you're not in an area that motivates you to do better, that motivates you to grow, that motivates you to be more creative, that motivates, or where something bigger and better is always, you're not in the right area. So and that's pretty much what's happening in the B sector as well. Like back in the day, it was like, okay, they started this, they did this, the next this person came up with this idea and started doing it. And everybody was supporting everybody. It's not like that anymore. It's like you find people that wanna if you do it, they're gonna do the same exact thing that you do, and especially if they got bigger numbers because they know that and basically what that's doing is that's staunching you or stopping you from the ability to grow off of your own organic content. And I don't like that. I mean, that's not right. Crab in a barrel. It's sad. It's sad. Like right now we have people are building stuff and then other people are coming and snatching it. That basically that's what it is. People in the beef sector, like people have built the beef sector, and then other people are just coming in and snatching it, and then snatch it. It's almost like they're handing it to them. It's like the beef sector is being handed over. to some people that are going to completely change it and who don't respect the foundation. Because it's always the foundation. But like I said, this is not, I knew today wasn't going to be a whole 30 minutes. I am going to come live tomorrow and I'm going to be on a different topic. But I just gave a little tea right there. That was a little tea. I got some more that comes with that. But I'm tired of fighting. And then I'm definitely tired of fighting by myself. And then I'm tired of every time it seems like we get the momentum to like try to resolve something, do something about something, then it's either a distraction, it's or it's something that always happens to stop it or to stop the movement or to it's never completed. And so it's becoming a wild goose chase and a waste of time when like really we're all on here as individuals. Like I can understand when people say we're really not a sector because I'm really an individual brand, and I guarantee you people would do a lot better if it was based on individual brands instead of like this like because if it was based on individual brands, then a lot of people they would have to do things on their own, not take and then want to control. Yeah, just look, man. A lot of the people get numbers and like some lemon doesn't do anything. And I'm not like trying to mm, oh man. And here's the thing, I don't hate lemon. Sometimes like when I first met him or the first lemon that I met, I genuinely liked that guy. I don't know where that guy went and who is this new guy. I don't like the new guy's behavior. I don't know like the way that the new guy disrespects women. I don't like the way that the new guy has came in here and basically damaged the B sector property. That's what I don't like for his own benefits and purposes. And that's what I don't like. And then when you speak out about it, you try to tell him about it, he don't want to hear that. He gets mad. I thought you don't fuck with me. Nah, it ain't that I don't fuck with you. It ain't that I dislike you. I'm just telling you the truth. And he'll rather rally up the he gonna do whatever. He'll rather rally up people against you, and to throw stones at you just to keep people from listening to you, because he knows that what I'm saying is right, and he don't want y'all to see it. He wants to be poor lemon when he needs to be poor lemon. He wants to be uh, but yet he's the king. But he always needs the help of women to fight for him. He's always running to get help for people to fight for him. He never fights for himself. Like, oh, I'm big B sector, but you don't fight by yourself. You have to rally up, and so and whereas you used to have a strong team, I don't know if it was Diva or somebody, they told you don't have a team. You don't, and I mean, you don't have a strong team anymore. You disrespected you your real strong core team, the first people. You disrespected us, treated us badly, and now you stuck with what you got. That's why you got to outsource. That's why you got to go over here to this sector. That's why you got to go over there to that sector, because you don't have your own team. Most people have their own team because you didn't value your own team. And then instead of you like being accountable for your behavior and the things that you do, you rather place the blame on them. So I'm just saying. And then, like I said, at first I was fighting. I was fighting basically for. like a lot of the first people that was in the group and myself, because a lot of us, we experienced different things, which was the same disrespect and using us in content, throwing us in front of. We experienced a lot of that at the same time, and I know that that first group of people, they were good people, good people. They weren't. A lot of them weren't even content creators, and they didn't even want to be involved in the mess. They were there strictly to support, him on different levels. When he cried in Discord, when he came back there, he was falling back. Oh, they talked about my eye or blah blah blah. Like we went through all of that. Like he's not. He goes back there in Discord and he cries. He's weak. Then he puts on a good face like after like he's gotten coddled and uh and pacified, comes out here after people have helped strengthen him, and will sit there and literally throw those same people under the bus, same people who took licks, the same people that like just for supporting him, under the bus. And I'm just saying, a lot of content creators and stuff need to look at that. Like, you don't own these people. We're people. We're grown people. When we come on here, we're supporters because we like your content. Just because we might prefer you or prefer this, or just because we might have a moderator range, doesn't mean you own us or own anybody. And so a lot of these content creators get in the mind frame of that, like they own people. Like they don't feel like they're ungrateful, and they don't feel like they should show their supporters appreciation. They feel like they're doing something for their supporters all the time instead of their supporters doing something for them, because they're the ones that's getting the AdSense check. They're the ones getting the cash apps. They're the ones getting the monetary benefit from your support. So, some subscribers need to change their behaviors as well. And I gotta say, I'm glad I took my time in terms of my brand, my channel, and the things that I'm trying to do, because I've observed, I've learned what to do, what not to do. I see how things um, feel from both perspectives, from the content creator perspective as well as a subscriber perspective. So I'm glad that you know and then I like saw through the saw other people experience things that I've learned from. So like I just got to speed up a little bit, and that's, I guess, the reason why I'm going, I need to speed up. But it's basically like I feel like I can never know everything. So although like I know that I know enough, I still don't feel like I know everything. And so sometimes, that could kind of like, and especially after you've already been through a lot of the punches and stuff on here like that. It's like, woo, I don't want to go through that no more. I don't feel like doing that no more. But I realized that, like I deserve it. And there's other people out there that deserve my content. Um, just like I said, a lot of people I support in the beef sector because I feel like they deserve it. But anyway, I'd like to thank y'all for lending me your ear tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'm going to come live tomorrow, um, but it's not going to be on anything beef sector. I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to get back to like one of my original topics and subjects, because I've been peeking in that area too. And I see that they need a little push. So basically, I'm going to come on tomorrow and I'm going to talk about like FBA, and Black American history. Um, so if that's something that you're interested in, And from time to time, I do give on genealogy tips. I used to help people with genealogy, and I really wanted to do a live stream on genealogy, but because I'm not going to say I'm an expert. I'm good at it because I had to do my own on all sides and stuff like that. So I know I know like a lot of the how you'll get stuck. And from time to time I'll share like ways around that or whatever. Um, so if you're interested in that, and see that's significant because we are still like there are people out here that are fighting for reparations, several different groups, several different categories and stuff, and then there are people who are fighting black people that are fighting against black people getting reparations because at the end of the day they found that they may not be so entitled. So I'm gonna start going over a lot of that stuff and breaking down a lot of that stuff. Let me get back to that. Um, Here going forward, I'm gonna do like try to do at least 2 30-minute lives um, every week. And if you're a supporter of mine and you see me around and I haven't done my 2 30-minute live, please hold me accountable. Sometimes it's like what I do, I have to research. I have to like it's not just hitting the live button. It's like it's a lot that comes with the type of content that I do. And sometimes, it's hard to just be motivated to put in so much work and yield such little results. So, but like I said, I know that I'm building, and I know it takes time. I know this is organic. I know it's like it's gonna be a slow process or whatever. So here we go. That's what I'm gonna do. But like I said, thank everybody for listening to this. Thank the replay gang. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like because like I said, I'm trying to get into I'm trying to get it back into a algorithm. Because I don't just have these, I have my shorts as well. So I've been doing shorts, but I have to start doing some lives as well. So y'all check out my shorts. Most of my shorts are funny, but I try to do shorts that are funny but have messages. Um, when y'all go over there, y'all gonna see some of the shorts that I've done. It's funny. Y'all gonna recognize the characters. But anyways, like I said, let me get out here. I've enjoyed it. Thank y'all. Smash that like button, share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace, and I'm out. It is QI exiting the building.